Are there risks we can easily anticipate, and what kinds of infrastructure could we build or implement to respond to it? In terms of risks, I think that one thing that we're learning is that there's a lot of playbooks that are being repeatedly used year after year, election after election. And we see that particular narratives about the way that things work, or particular claims like around election fraud or elections being stolen by other political parties, are occurring in different, in different countries, in different regions around the world. So while we see these recurring patterns across the world, we also see that the infrastructures, the informational infrastructures that are being used for stop the steal campaigns and things like that also have a kind of regularity, right? And so these systems are being weaponized, if you like, or we can also say that they have certain affordances for people who want to engage in activism or particular forms of communication, or even to try and mislead people. And so I think that the risk here is that we see repeatedly that these products, right, social media platforms, are sort of, by their very design architecture, affording and enabling and facilitating this kind of thing to happen. These kinds of narratives, which would, often, could often be at the margins of political discourse, or, might take a lot of, political resources to try and get into the mainstream, are kind of just happening by themselves, and they have a really participatory kind of feel to them. Audiences are being kind of weaponized in a sense, and we're kind of in on it as well. And so I think that the risk here is to sort of fail to see that there are design principles in the way that social media is wired for engagement. It's hiding the way that people's news feeds are being curated and delivered to them. We don't really know particularly how content is being recommended. We don't know how political ads in many cases are being targeted to people. And I think the risk is that we're not learning, even from the short history, from one year to the next, that these platforms are essentially designed, in a way that is risky to democracy. And so I think, looking at the way they work and redesigning those in a way that's pro-democratic, pro-social is, I think that's the way to go.